Good evening to you all, our dear viewers. It's exciting to see you yet another Sunday evening. Indeed, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice together and be glad in it. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're tuned in this evening, wherever you're watching us from. We are so glad that you chose to be with us on Occupy Today. This is that show again. Occupy Today is a show that reaches out to business people in and out of Kenya, young and old, those that have done business for many years and those that are yet to begin, inspiring you to shine in the marketplace, because this is what God left for us to do. Why? Because you wake up every day to go to your work, and as you do that, you're influencing the kingdom of God in whatever you're doing. And so, whether you're a business person or whether you're starting out or whether you're still thinking about starting out one day, one time, this is the show for you. And we are hopeful that we will inspire you. We are hopeful that you will pick one nugget or two that will help you to occupy and be in your right place as you serve in the marketplace, doing your businesses. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show with us tonight. I will be introducing my amazing guest. I'm joined by amazing guest tonight, and we will bring them on very shortly, even as you choose to be with us. So my name is Sarah Kajuju. I am a growth coach, and I'm excited to be with you tonight. So today we'll be discussing the sustainable development goals and business. Do you know what the sustainable development goals are and how they would relate to your business? This is what we're discussing tonight. And since it's a very exciting and very suitable topic for this season, I'm hoping that you're there and you will not touch that dial. So I bring on my two amazing, lovely guests. Karibu sana, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
I love the way you're just seated, put and collected and relaxed to enjoy the show tonight. Karibu sana, Abigail Okello.
Thank you.
And that color looks really nice on you. So karibuni sana. I want you guys to just introduce yourselves. I don't know where we begin. Do we begin with the younger, the older, the slimmer, where do we begin? Who wants to begin?
We can begin with her.
We begin with Abigail.
Yes.
Sawa, sawa.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Abigail Okello, founder and executive director of a community-based organization called Sola Mtaani. Our vision is a reduction of energy poverty through solar learning and solar technology, where we train youths in solar technology. We say T1 and T2. They do the exams, get certified by NITA, and then they're licensed by EPRA, and then we do job placements and internship. And then the use of solar technology, where we help women in the rural areas to use solar energy to do business, like use of solar kiosks and the others you'll hear on as you speak.
Lovely.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I love the way you just say solar. Solar sounds like solar, like the sun.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like anything technical.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful that you will break it down for us and we will really learn from you tonight. Abigail, thank you for being here.
Thank you very
And
much.
very much appreciated that you found time to be on the show tonight.
Asante.
Lovely. Elizabeth,
Yes.
tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, even for having me here. It is such an honor. My name is Elizabeth. I am a business finance specialist. I'm the founder of Atik Africa Limited. At Atik Africa, we help people with their finances. I'm a money coach. We help people with the business, business coaching. I am also an author. I have written several books. One of them is with me here, Generating My Unique Business Idea. And actually, why this topic is more exciting for me is that one of the topics covered here, chapter 3 of this book, is about SDGs and how as organizations we should align to the SDGs for focus and for success.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow, lovely. Thank you. Nice having you here tonight, Elizabeth. Are you a professor in the university? Are you in academia?
Maybe with the time I will become, but for now I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
My area is business, finance.
Yes.
It is my specialty.
Yes.
Maybe with the time I will advance.
Aha.
Who knows?
You know why I asked that is because I have found very many people in academia doing books, and they do so well. But I think it even is more impactful when people who are in the business environment are able to write books because they are writing from their own experiences, very rich experiences. And of course, part of the reason we're here tonight is to just share a few of those experiences. They may not be in books, Abby, but I'm sure what you have learned over time and what you have been able to apply in Sola Mtaani, when we bring it to the table and discuss it with the audience and take it out there, it's such valuable information, it's such valuable experience. And I'm so, so grateful that you guys are willing to share your experiences tonight. So we dive right on into the topic tonight. And I want to ask you, the area of sustainable development goals. And okay, maybe I think we even begin by defining what are these? Sounds like a big animal. And I'm sure for somebody who hasn't begun their business, they may not even relate. So what are these? What are sustainable development goals? And you can define them in whatever words you would. What are these?
Personally, I think sustainable development goals was a call for action that was adopted 2015 by 193 member states of United Nations. And and it was to help like all the countries, both developing and the ones that are developed, to achieve all the goals together.
Yeah.
So they are like almost different.
Oh, lovely, lovely. And Elizabeth, probably now that you're an author, I will tap into your knowledge a lot. Is it important that we subscribe to these goals? And if so, is there a way then you can describe to us why it's important or why it's a must for us to look at the 17 SDGs and align as businesses?
Yeah. And it's good you said there are 17. There are actually 17. Whichever business that we are in, whichever organizations, whichever initiatives that we are taking fits within the 17, you know. It may cut across, it's a framework, it's actually a framework, and I like the way she defines it. It is a framework that whichever area of impact that we are in, we are either touching on one or two. Like my organization, Atika Africa, touches on two of them. SDG 1, no poverty, and SDG 4, quality education. Bringing it closer home, they are called the God goals, because whatever it is that we are doing in this world, it is for the glory of God, you know. We are doing it for God. They are actually the global, so that it connects your local impact, what you are doing here locally, you connect it globally. So it is for the purpose of focus of any business, for the purpose of being able to focus your impact, that you know the impact that you are doing in your own small, and many times people feel like their businesses are small. In your world, when you are changing that world of your business, you are changing the whole universe, the globe. It is very important for every business to align to the 17, know which area of focus of the SDG, which SDG you are addressing. And that way as a business, you'll be more focused.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I'm also curious from the definition Abby gave and also from what you have added, Elizabeth. At that point when these member states sat down to come up with the 17 of them, is there a problem they had experienced? Or is it that businesses were not focused, like you're saying? Is it that they were not creating impact? What exactly led to the development of this? What exactly would make us want to subscribe to this? Is it possible that I can easily just do my business without a particular focus on the 17 and yet still achieve impact? I don't know. Any of you can answer that.
Maybe I would go first.
Okay.
To say that for you to create purpose, even as a person, when you don't have a purpose that you are following, when you don't know which area has God called me and wired me towards, you can find yourself doing everything without really even being able to measure your impact. We have had organizations that are very, very impactful, but because of non-alignment or non-awareness of the SDG that they are addressing, you know, even engaging their employees lacks that purpose. And you know, they are places that even employees can work and they are feeling like they are not really being utilized in the right way, or their efforts are not making an impact.
Yeah.
But now when you are aligned, you have purpose. You're able to measure impact. You're able to focus. That is the very important. And even for me, as you're asking me whether I want to be a professor in the university, I really struggled with business as an entrepreneur. Wondering which is my area of impact and how do I work it? How do I measure impact? How do I report that this is my impact? Until I was able to align my business to the two SDGs that I relaxed. Now I'm able to say these are the statistics, this is where I am, this is where I'm going, and this is what I want to achieve. And even I'm able to pass it down to every employee in the area of focus.
Wow, wow. Yeah, you can bring on your insight, Abby.
Yeah, I personally, I think when the member states sat down to come up with the SDGs, you know, there was both the developed countries and the developing countries. And I believe, like, for example, the developed countries, they struggle maybe with emission of gases because of industrialization. And then developing countries, of course, there's poverty, there's illiteracy, hygiene and things like that. And then when these SDGs, when they were thinking about the SDGs, I think they were categorized into three, and that is what I think summarizes them all. That is SDGs that affect the environment, SDGs that they affect the society, and SDG that I think the reason why we're here today that affects the economy. Yeah, so, and all SDGs, they interlink. So you might find the developed countries, they need to achieve one, the LDCs also needs to achieve another, and in partnership, of course, they believe the world becomes a better place.
Definitely, it
Yeah,
does. It's
yeah.
totally true that the world becomes a better place. And how convenient, how divine that we would be in this space where we're talking about SDGs. And I love that you're calling them that God, you call them God
The
goals.
God goals, yes.
You know, so that then God has caused the minds of people to think through how impact can be created and how you can be able to sort of focus on an area and create impact in scattering yourself as a business. And I'm curious to know, just like Elizabeth mentioned one or two of the ones they align to, Sola Mtaani, which ones do you align to, Abby?
Our SDGs are really interlinked,
Yeah.
but the main one is clean and affordable energy, where we have introduced solar technology to both marginalized youths in informal settlements in Nairobi and women in the rural areas.
Yes.
So when you talk about renewable energy, you're talking about solar technology, and the reason for solar technology is for business is to reduce the cost of production and to help our participants like to increase profits and things like that. And of course, quality education, where there's no energy. When you introduce solar technology, you increase illiteracy because now people will be able to do assignments during the night. So sometimes you also distribute solar lanterns. And then there is gender equality, which we really focus on with women now in Kilifi, where we have widows who, of course, they suffer a lot of patriarchy, where they are forced for widow inheritance, and now when we empower them, they are able to make their own decisions. So we also help them like to come with different business models through the use of solar technology, either sell solar technology or use solar energy to do business. Yeah, so I'll say we have interlinked a lot of SDGs, but the main one is clean and affordable energy. Yeah.
I'm loving the way you just articulate all of them and you know which one, where, how, you know. And like
Thank you.
Elizabeth said, it actually helps you to just keep the focus
Yeah.
and be able to even measure impact, because I'm sure in all those areas, you're able to tell what impact you're creating.
Sure.
Elizabeth, I know you mentioned yours very briefly, but as a business, would you go deeper and tell us how you align to the two goals? I think I heard you mention two.
Yeah.
I know all the 17 somehow are interlinked. For example, you can't do 1 and 4 and 6 and not deal with 17, which is really a partnership of them all. So how does your business align to them?
SDG 1,
Yes.
no poverty. One of the things, especially because we are trainers in the area of personal finance, in the area of business, and once people are empowered with the knowledge, we always say, or I don't know who said, knowledge is power.
Yes.
So one of the things to fight poverty is by having that knowledge. The best way to manage your personal finances, the best way to run your business, and even allowed this book, being able to conceive, you are good fit. That means it fits you as a person. It helps you to be able to fight poverty. Because now when you align what you are doing with these God goals, now you're able to excel. God empowers us in the area of our calling. As much as the book of Philippians says, we can do all things. It is in all things in the area that you have been called into. And that is one of the ways of fighting poverty. When your business is focused, when you're able to manage risks, because now you are focused in the SDG that you are achieving. One of the things it gives you is the ability to manage risk in your business. The other advantage is that it helps you to be able to stay above competition. And that is a bigger way, positive way of being able to rise above poverty. So that is one way that my business contributes to no poverty. Quality education. We are especially passionate about children, teenagers, and young adults in our intervention. And why is, just as I said, knowledge is power. Quality education, it is sustainable, it is inclusive. When a child runs the nuggets of entrepreneurship at a young age, even when they are old, my Bible tells me, train up a child in the way they should go. And even when they are old, you will never depart from it. So when they know how to do business, or they start getting nuggets of business, of entrepreneurship from a young age, the teenagers, the young adults, even when they are old, they will do business in an ethical way. So this quality education is to prepare them for life. And of course, we cannot say that we are achieving 1 and 4 without the 17.
I know.
We partner. We need the solar energy. Like we go to train in the rural areas where there is no electricity. Like my own village, electricity is not in my mother's house.
Maybe you need to have a conversation
Yes,
after this
yes,
with Abby, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my mother requires the solar energy.
Sure.
I think we are very deep rural. So that's how we interlink. As we are achieving the no poverty and the quality education, again, we need her, you know, so that way we are able to work together. And we are always better together.
Indeed.
Yes.
Wow, wow.
Can I add
Yes,
something?
yes, you may go
Yeah,
right ahead.
as she was talking about like your mom in the rural areas or people in the rural areas, one thing that I think I forgot is the climate action. We also introduce solar technology as another alternative, as an alternative energy. Instead of using things like firewood, which I understand almost 21,000 people die because of emissions of such gases. So we are dealing with also climate action and health, improving health.
Wow.
Yeah.
Health improvement and climate action.
Yeah. So all the SDGs are just interlinked.
They are, and you can say that again. And I'm hoping that our dear viewers, you're with us, you have not gone away, because this is power-packed. This is really power-packed. And let me tell you, you never learn it in one day. You learn it over time. Today, you will pick that tip, you will run with it, you will begin building your business to create impact. Why? Because you know there is something called the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. And I'm sure that this is opening something in your mind to begin thinking about your business differently. So don't go away. Keep it right there. We have so much more coming through these two very fine ladies that have been there, that have stood the test of time. I don't know how long you guys have been in business to even be able to align to these SDGs. And even as you answer that little question of how long you've been in business, tell me, there is somebody somewhere beginning their business tomorrow. Just this week, I was helping somebody, last week, helping somebody to register a business. I don't know. How would somebody, when they are starting out, be able to already be thinking, how do I align to this? You know, they're an empty or a clean slate. They haven't even sought their first customer. They are beginning to think, where do I get my first customer? What do I do to be able to source for raw materials? How do they begin thinking about aligning to the sustainable development goals?
I would want to answer that one in a bit more words, and I would want to use an example.
Yes.
I want you to imagine somebody who is called to be maybe a policeman.
Yes.
To deal with criminals out there. But because they were not aligned to their purpose, they ended up being in the maternity ward as the nurse, assisting women when they are giving birth.
Okay, now that's quite interesting.
I want you to imagine somebody who is called as a policeman to deal with hard cause, assisting somebody to give birth. It will be chaotic,
yes.
you know? And we have had people complain being mishandled in that very painful process because maybe the person who was assisting them is not called to that, is not wired to take care of delicate people, you know? The same way with a business. So if you are not aligning your business, as in that point of starting up, it is important to start right or to make yourself aware of these SDGs and you see where you are, where you actually fit, so that you don't end up being called to deal with criminals and you end up in the hospital handling patients. I hope that brings it closer home for our viewers.
My goodness, as you talk about a police woman, I don't know whether it's a man or a woman, but whichever of the two. And you know, I look at them and the face they would wear, very stern. In fact, yesterday I was enjoying one. We were in a bus going for a hike. And where we stopped, I was busy sipping my tea and one of them looked at me. And I said, "Good morning, sir." And he said, "Good morning." He didn't even want to smile. So I can only imagine this person in the ward helping a mother deliver. Do they even have empathy? I don't know whether empathy is there. You want somebody with a smile and who, you know, helps life come through in such a nice and subtle, nurturing way. And hands that are so gentle, not
You're
hands
telling
that
them
are
it
so
will
rough.
be okay.
Yeah. And I can imagine the roughness of some of our cops. Not that they are...
It is the nature of their work.
It's the nature of their work.
know?
They are a bit rough with their hands, you know?
Yeah.
And then now somebody in a maternity of that nature. So that brings it quite close home that you have to be aligned from the word go. So how do you do this then? How do you align? Do you know, Abby? How did you align? Did you begin with the SDGs in mind when you began?
Actually not. And first of all, I'm actually a social scientist, not a solar technician.
Okay, policeman in a maternity ward.
Yeah. So I think I would love to go like on another route. I think the youths mostly, I would want to encourage them to look for the gap in the marketplace when they're thinking of business or any career they feel like they want to start. I want to encourage them actually in solar technology. I'm an ambassador of solar energy. Right now, currently in Kenya, we have less than 1,500 licensed technicians active.
Less than 1,500
women
licensed technicians.
Yeah, for women it's only 26.
Hey, can I be one?
Exactly. So it's actually a field that people can dive in, and there's so much they could get into solar energy or solar entrepreneurship. And they would either, I don't know whether I'll be going out of the purpose when you tell people to come to energy and maybe that is not their purpose. But I think it's something that I would encourage people to think about because solar energy is huge. You could do the business itself if you want to get into business. Actually, now like in the rural areas right now, if you want to sell something you could do. You could sell the solar products. We are having some donations from Rwanda called solar kiosks, and we've been thinking to do something like mini huduma centers. Like we have women from Kilifi traveling for distance around 500 shillings transport just to get huduma services, you know. But if you have like a mini cyber cafe, like a mobile one, using the solar kiosk, it's mobile. You just skuma, just take it somewhere open, and then it has the panels. You can charge phones, you can sell credit, and then you can use a laptop to access government services.
Wow.
And then you just go and pick the services now when you finish up with the whole process. So there are very many things you could do. So I'd like just to encourage people to look at solar energy or clean and renewable energy like in a different perspective.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
I'm just encouraging people to think outside the box. Just don't go. And funnily, solar technology, I'm not sure whether it's offered as a degree in this country.
Oh, let's have this conversation. I tell you, it's a deep one, and probably we need to even think through businesses that can begin to offer that through NITA and through other,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
Good one. But I'm left curious on something that you will answer after our break.
Thank you.
What does it take for a technician to be certified? Because I hear you say there are only 1,500. You left me there, by the way. And I can tell you it's because I'm passionate about youth employability and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what does it take for somebody to be certified as a
solar
technician?
yeah.
But also, why 26 women? Is this another STEM that they're running away from?
Exactly.
And you can hold it there because I see the excitement in your eyes, Abby. So that we take a break, dear viewers. We take a very short break, and when we come back, we want to do much more. So keep it right there. Don't get away. Just grab a glass of water, continue sipping it, and let's do this together. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're off here.
I hope we're off.
I almost
First
answered that
Thessalonians,
question.
Yes, I do. Number
But then
5.
you
verse
get the link,
17.
my
Pray
dear.
without ceasing, for this is the will of
Oh,
God
you did.
in Christ
Lovely.
Jesus concerning you.
On Watch and Pray, we pray for you and with you regarding your prayer requests, our nation, and the whole world.
There's this one who is saying there's a marriage separation in marriage, but let's pray for the babies and then restore also. Father God Almighty.
Join Mama Eda Adoyo on Watch and Pray every Monday from 7:30 p.m. live on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Spotlight.
Do you feel that they are in a place where they can effect a Barack Obama moment?
When you hear the word of God and you hear Jesus is speaking,
Real talk on real issues.
You know, the Bible says faith without works is dead.
The truth of the gospel that will survive the time is not a health and wealth gospel.
When there is time to harmonize and bring one composite amendment.
With idealistic, thought-provoking guests.
So people come to be serviced, to be encouraged, to be empowered.
When the storm is over, you desire the closeness you have with God.
Hosted by Reverend Edward Furi.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much, our dear viewers, for keeping it right there. I hope you have your glass of water and you're seated, relaxed, and ready to enjoy this second half of our show. The first half has gone pretty fast, but I'm hopeful this one will take a little more time. I don't know. Yes, so let's see how this rolls. And I had a question for Abby. And I want us to pick it right there because matters of SDGs, even as we create impact through this, go down to the people utilizing the skills. And of a particular interest is our youth. And when you say there are only 1,500 certified solar technicians in Kenya.
Active licensed.
Active licensed.
Yes.
Where are the rest? And then why aren't more getting certified? What is happening?
I think it's altogether, it's a new course.
It's a new course.
That has not yet been exploited. Like many people do not know about solar energy or solar technology. And I think few schools are offering it, mostly NITA, of course.
Yeah.
And then we have Strathmore University, we have Nairobi University.
Yeah.
But mostly these universities offer them as short courses.
Yes.
But as Solar Mtaani, in partnership with Solar Africa, we are trying to come up with like a whole 1 year diploma course for now people will be trained in solar technology and other things like business entrepreneurship. I
Yes.
think you should visit our school. We have also life skills. We do ICT, and it's mostly because of the youths. We want when this youth has already been trained, when he goes out there, he can become a consultant, he can open his own business, he can become a technician. And actually solar energy or solar technicians, they are needed even abroad.
Wow.
But in the country right now, as you can see, we have power issues. We have off-grid places where electricity is not there. So we try to encourage as many to join such courses because you can actually employ yourself. And I think that is something we should encourage the youth. And for the women, of course, most women shy away from STEM. When, as I told you earlier, I'm a social scientist. I did social sciences, political analyst, you can imagine.
Whoa.
Now an ambassador of solar energy. And I was recruited and trained on participatory role appraisal custom made for solar technology. So I actually build narratives on how to sell solar energy. Yeah.
Wow.
So what happens with women, we shy off to such courses because you see, they are designed in Kenya in such a way like they're short courses. Like, for example, NITA schools, they are like 2 weeks period. So you want, and mostly it's the engineers, electrical engineers that come to do these short courses even at Strathmore. So the problem comes in, I'm a woman and these men are there talking those big terminologies and you're there. You tend to shy. Yeah.
You're scared.
So what we are trying to do as an organization also, we are introducing something called solar learning for women only. So we just interact as women.
That's an SDG right there.
Gender equality.
Right?
Yeah. Gender equality.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Asante.
Amazing. I hope I didn't cut your line of thought.
No.
Very, very well.
Yeah.
And indeed, just like you said, all these ideas are interlinked.
Yeah.
One business can align to even 7, 10 of them.
Exactly.
You know why? Because one SDG is linked to the other, and is linked to the other, is linked to the other.
Yeah.
Now, I want us to appeal to a new business, someone who's starting out a business. Is there a way? And I love the way you said, Elizabeth, that this is like, did you call it a roadmap?
A framework.
A framework.
Yes,
Very well. Is there a way somebody can utilize this framework to be able to, and I'm looking at your book, Generating a Business Idea, but also to be able to drive their business idea in such a way that it will appeal to a certain market?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that cuts it in the middle.
Yes.
By the time, and I see so many people, even on social media, asking, I've got this amount of money, I would want to start a business, which is the best business, you know? And I'm thinking the best way or the best place to start is in the SDGs. There is no one way, like when she talks about solar energy, and is that she, at one point she asked, I don't know whether she is moving away from the purpose. Even in solar energy, we've got people who want to train, or their work is only to train about solar energy. Others are just technicians. Others are called for repairers. So we are not able to exhaust that area.
The value chain.
You know? So at that point of conceiving your unique business idea, don't go away from the SDGs, you know? Look within the SDGs. What do I want to achieve? What is my purpose? If me, I'm called as a trainer, which SDG points into the kind of business that I can do, you know? That is at the point of starting. If you're already in business, being able to tap into the emerging markets. And in the recent past, we are having the world becoming a global village. The word global village is a terminology that is really popular nowadays. The only way as a business that is already in operation to tap into the emerging markets is being able to focus on the SDG that you are addressing. And that way to show you unlimited opportunities. You know, so you don't have to struggle in the dark. If only you are able to align your business to an SDGs, you see so many opportunities away even from, across the borders. Yeah, as a business opportunity, you see so many. Like if you are focusing on seeds only, like we have seen many people working on maybe peanuts, you know, there are so many things that you can do around peanuts. It could be packaging, it could be producing peanut butter, for example. It could be selling the peanuts as they are. It could be growing these peanuts. You know, it could be developing products that maybe add value to that peanut. There is a lot you can do if you focus on a certain SDG or two of them. Yes.
Wow, that's immense.
Just, of course, solar energy, and adding to her, her good points. When you talked about peanuts, you just reminded me of a lot of solar technology that is out there. There's actually a solar oven that produces, you can bake and you can still roast and grind peanuts.
Wow.
For solar energy, basically, it's we know, like developing countries, cost of production becomes very expensive because of energy. But if you introduce solar energy as an alternative source, then you reduce the costs and you're in a position like now to make profits, or your business actually to become sustainable. And
no, just carry on. I'm just seeing the way you're oozing out with solar. solar. But it's a good thing. I'm loving it.
Thank
Keep going.
So there's the solar ovens, different companies, and then there's now the a micro miller from Axel Solar Company. It's a very small solar portion mill that women can actually operate to mill maize and to make a profit. So I was just listening to ideas, and then I just packed off like a lot of technologies out there that has not been exploited, and very many people do not know about it, on how to start businesses and think about businesses. Because when you write down the things that are needed to achieve certain, to reach or to achieve the SDGs, I think when it comes to cost and what she said at first, I have this amount of money, what good business could I venture? And I think they are limited because you find that some costs are too expensive and you do not know how to go about it. So I think even when you're training, it's good you show them maybe panya routes, shortcuts, or thinking outside the box.
It's a question that comes to me all the time. Like, how can I increase my income? And there you go. When you say that you are developing small portion mills for women in the village where there is no maybe electricity. So there you go again to the SDG 1, no poverty.
Exactly.
You see? So we are all contributing to this. You know? And just a small, if you just take that intervention of that portion meal, you are not able to serve the environment or the number of people who would want your service if you are only able to focus on that. So it gives you a lot of focus. It gives you a lot of purpose.
Why do I also think, Elizabeth and Abby, that even for those who already have existing businesses, there are times that the economy is not doing so well, or this area is not doing so well, and we suffer as a result of keeping the way it has been for a very long time without changing our trajectory a little. And through the SDGs, if you look at SDG 1 to 17, it's possible that it can begin to provoke your thinking to begin thinking diversification.
Exactly.
Yeah? So that then if you're doing peanut butter production and the economy or whatever else is forcing you not to do so well, it's possible that you can begin thinking of another area, even training itself.
Exactly.
Why? Because you want to spur employability among young people subscribing to one of the SDGs on employment. Job creation, what we call job creation. And so this begins to be, again, the framework through which even other ideas can begin arising, isn't it?
And they are actually unlimited.
They are
There are
unlimited.
unlimited possibilities
Yes.
if only you are ready to explore. Like we have had companies that were there in the 80s, but because they were not able to change their way of doing things with the change of this space of business. So you see those companies, they did not rise to the occasion or rise to the current trends, you know. But your ability to rise depends with your ability to focus on the 17.
Yes.
It narrows your focus.
I know.
You know?
I know. I want to hear something in the area of CSR. Corporate
CSR.
social responsibility. How does that come in the SDGs? Is there a tie? Or is it, you know, what would you say of CSR and SDGs?
I would say first is that as a business and being an entrepreneur myself, you need the permission of the people for you to be able to succeed in business. Without the permission of the public. That's why even the public should come into the success of your business. And the only way is to for you to embrace the SDGs so that you get the permission of these people that you are serving for you to succeed in business. So even our CSR, or just to bring it closer home, CSR is corporate social responsibility. What we do for the public without expecting a return. So that you focus your CSR initiatives towards advancing your goals. Like that person who is making peanut and the packaging is in a plastic container, and we know the menace that we have had in plastics. You could do a CSR around cleaning the environment, because now, depending on your blood, if my blood is called Atik Africa, remember those cans I'm packing my peanut butter in, they are labeled. So the public is able to see the cans that we see around, they are from Atik Africa. So focus your CSR if it is in cleaning the environment, so that you are not the same person who is advancing this CSR, this goal, and on the other hand, you are the person who is interfering in the environment for you to have that balance. That's what I'm saying.
Abby,
Personally, I'm just thinking of the community out there. Most of them do not have enough information. And let's talk about the rural areas, the traditions that have been there from back days and until to date. So I think it's our responsibility to do awareness creation of different business models, of giving awareness of different technologies that are out there, so that the entire community is involved as we are trying to achieve the SDGs.
Indeed. And I remember one of you at the start said, I think it was Abby who called out the 17 SDGs to be classified into 3. Those that relate to the economy, those that relate to the environment, and those that relate to the society. And of course, the ones that relate to the environment, definitely. And even, I mean, all of them, in one way or the other, touch on the people around us, you know. Because if we talk about job creation, for example, it's not like I will go to Uganda to bring my labor force from there. I am employing people from the neighborhood where my factory is located, and therefore I am appealing to the people around me, and they're the ones I'm bringing into my business. But even as we come to the end, because time is running and it's really running, I want to find out from you ladies, and probably for the sake of somebody who's watching and wondering, where is this information? If I wanted to know more about SDGs, if I wanted to find out where to align or how to align my business, how do they do this? Somebody out there who's starting out or who's in the middle of their business and they've never even heard this topic of SDGs, what would you advise them to do?
I think if just like simple steps, if they Google, they could see a lot about SDGs. It's out there in the internet. You'll also watch YouTubes. There are very many people who've explained each and every SDGs. There are different organizations and company, like she said and I said, the SDGs that our companies or organizations are achieving. So I think the entire information is out there. I think the best thing is, as I said, lack of information. We need to do a lot of also creation awareness. Maybe next time we could have a forum of teaching them about all the SDGs, and of course her, who is a trainer, and she's into business, of how you could actually achieve, and one-on-one lessons on how to go about. When I loved when she said the conceiving of the business ideas and thinking about the SDGs.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And of course, at this point, I just want you guys to do a parting shot. And then you tell us, if we wanted to get in touch with you, where are you found? Mko kwa mtandao? Very quickly as we close.
Okay. My parting shot is that holding a story, an untold story inside you is the biggest, it will be the biggest menace. Like you have a story to tell, you know, and holding it inside of you, it would be the biggest work. I'm rephrasing the words of somebody who said that. And your business is your story. Being able to align it with the SDGs, and as she said, the information is out there. If you just Google the God goals or the global goals or the sustainable development goals, you'll be able to see, and being able to align your business to that. It is a nice way of telling your story. And when the story comes out, it is what the world needs, you know, to be able to change, you create that solution that changes the world in your unique way. That's what I would say. And as my parting shot, and actually I'm available, especially as a trainer, as a business, a finance coach. And niko kwa mtandao, you know, as a TIC Africa, as Elizabeth, the money coach. My website is www.aticafrica.com. Atic Africa is ATTIQUE. aticafrica.com. You can find me there and we can engage more.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Yes. Abby?
Wow. My passion is mostly to the youths and the women. And I would love to encourage the youths, mostly the marginalized one, those who cannot afford tertiary education, to think outside the box. You can start somewhere. You could start with short courses. Do not ignore, actually, the opportunities of short courses. And also, when you're doing the Googles and everything, let us not be always on Instagram and doing stuff. If you could be Googling scholarship and opportunities, because time is going and we are not growing any younger. And to the women that, yeah, we are working hard for gender equality opportunities, and solar energy is one area that we could really exploit. Yes, tuko kwa mtandao as solarmtaani.org, our website, and LinkedIn, just Solar Mtaani. And you can also get Abigail Okelo, Facebook, LinkedIn, yeah, and Instagram. Yeah, asante sana.
Wow.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Lovely. Thank you, Abigail, and thank you, Elizabeth. You guys are amazing. I feel like we should have gone on and on and on because you have a lot to unpack. But can you imagine, time fails us? But it has been great and it has been amazing having you on the show. I appreciate that you made some time to be with us this evening. Our dear viewers, I really hope that you had your notebook. You have taken note of one or two things and you will act on them, because this has been unleashed in such an amazing way. It has been great. And we're looking forward to having you again, same time, same place next Sunday. Looking forward to seeing you guys. And with that, it is kwaheri from us. Thank you.
Asante.